Thomastik-infeld has been really busy releasing new sets of strings every couple of years. 2 years ago, we had the Dominant Pros and Rondos being released at around the same time. And Thomastik just unveiled a new set of strings called Dynamo. And these are supposed to be out mid-March 2023. And this video is about my first reaction to the strings. Quick story, I was actually going to buy new strings and I was on a string website, and then I found that there's gonna be this release for Dynamo, and I go, I gotta make a video of this. When I first saw the Dynamo announcement, the first question I asked was why? Does the string world need another sub-brand of violin strings? There are a couple things to talk about when it comes to the Dynamo strings. So the Thomastik-infeld Dynamo, brand new set of strings, and it's gonna be interesting how they compare to the rest of the market, because the Dominant Pros were actually pretty decent strings for the price, around $89 by the time of release. I can't remember what they cost now, probably close to $100, given that their promotional offering price is no longer available. It's probably around $100. And those were pretty solid strings. I made a video of that on my YouTube channel a couple years ago, and they felt very nice under the fingers, and they were really well balanced across all four strings. So, the G string sounded as bright and the E string didn't sound as tinny when I bought the 4 strings in a set. But now we have this new offering, the Dynamo. And first of all, fun name. I like the word Dynamo, kind of makes it, electric. I think that's what they were going for behind the name of the strings, Dynamo. But to really understand what Thomastik-infeld is doing, let's take a look at this chart over here. So Thomastik-infeld loves to provide a sound spectrum chart for all of their strings. So you have the dominants with their jab in the middle, and then you have other strings either in the brilliance, in the focus, in the warmth, in the darker sound spectrum. So you have various options depending on what kind of strings you want to play with and what kind of sound will be best suited for your repertoire and for your instrument. It'll be interesting to hear how they actually sound and how they feel under my left hand. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'm definitely going to buy these strings to review, and make sure you subscribe to that, because it's going to be a very interesting and informative video. And I'm going to dissect every single aspect of the Dynamo strings when they come out. By looking at this chart, Dynamo seems to be relatively close to the dominant, and it'll be interesting to see what crazy difference it'll be, because dominants have increased in price due to inflation. I remember back when I was in school, dominants were like 50 bucks a set. Now they're like close to 74. And the dominants versus Dominant Pros are $15 apart in terms of the pricing. So I think naturally people will just go towards the Dominant Pros because of the brilliance and the ease of playing. But because the Dynamos are so close to the dominants, why bother paying for Dynamos? But here's the catch though. The Dynamos are Thomastik-infeld's most expensive violin string set yet. And they come at $142 and change plus tax depending on your region, country, location, whatever. And why do I care about spending $142 on strings? Maybe I'm not the person that they are marketing. I mean, these are very expensive strings. I would say the only other expensive strings out there are the Pirastro Passione solos. And that has a combination of different string technologies in there, because they're trying to get like a gut sound with some synthetic material and metal material. So that is their version of trying to get a big sound. Although the Passione solos, from my experience, they don't last that long. So it'll be interesting to see how long these Dynamo strings will last. If you're a professional soloist, you're changing strings once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. And of course, for soloists, that's a very small percentage of their financial budget. They don't really care as long as they have fresh strings to play on. But are they reliable? Are they going to provide a really good sound? Are they different than dominants? Will it be worth getting a set of strings that's twice as expensive compared to the dominants? I'm not sure. And I want you to leave a comment down below. Do you think it'll be worth spending twice as much for something that could be really similar in terms of the sound spectrum? Because based on this chart that Thomastik-infeld gave us, it is very clear that dominants and dynamos are very close together. So I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to experiment with these strings once I get my hands on them, once I put them on my violin. To me, it's kind of clear by the marketing and the price tiering what Thomastik-infeld is actually doing. So you have maybe the lower tier strings, then you start heading over to the dominants, then you have the dominant pros, then you have the unveiled, which is already pretty expensive, $130 for a full set. And then you're gonna be jumping up an extra tier to the $140 range. And that gets kind of pricey. So for someone who is willing to spend that kind of money, I hope that the strings will last long. I hope that they will sound good, because based on what I see in the brochure, let's take a look at this brochure. The brochure says that you are going to have equal brilliance and warmth in the sound. It's supposed to provide a broad sound. The playability should be really easy. That's good, because the TI, the Rondos, the dominant pros, those classes of strings happen to be very easy to play on, which is a really big plus. The strings are supposed to provide a wide dynamic range and modulation in sound colors. And I'm not sure what they mean by modulate sound colors based on what I see here, all along to their full extent. So it's a lot of murkiness, it's a lot of vagueness. I think it's supposed to be, again, it's marketing, so they're trying to push new strings out, but it'll be nice to hear what they actually sound like. What I appreciated in the marketing with the dominant pros is that they actually had someone playing in a video. And to me, I enjoy listening to that dominant pro recording in part of their marketing and press release, because that gave me an idea of what the strings sound like. Right now, based on what I see, there's not a video showing anyone playing on the Dynamos. They have testimonials from players, but they don't have a clear video with the sound and the sound spectrum and what that's supposed to sound like. So yeah, interesting time in the string technology innovation world. Leave your comment down below. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the Dynamo violin set? Very interesting set of strings by the looks of it. I mean, again, $140. I hope it delivers, and you'll be the first to know once they come out on this channel. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, and also check out some other violin string videos that I've done in the past with the dominant pros and more. I'll catch you guys in the next one.